going to start off on ITV1 and ITVX with a new series arriving on Thursday the 27th of June. It's called Douglas is Cancelled. And here's a clip.
There's been a tweet.
What tweet?
Overheard presenter Douglas Bellows making an extremely sexist joke at a wedding.
Dad, what was the joke at the wedding?
I don't remember.
It was probably just one of your usual ones, yeah?
My usual ones.
Your usual misogynist ones.
It was sexist, not misogynist.
This isn't news. It's going to be news. It's you.
Cancel culture, Hannah, that old chestnut. So, this is written by Steven Moffat, who's written lots of good stuff, including quite a bit of Doctor Who and Sherlock. And it stars, yes, Hugh Bonneville from Downton Abbey. And he is playing a veteran broadcaster, Douglas Bellows, and he hosts the news show Live at 6 with a younger co-presenter, Madeleine Crowe, and she's played by Karen Gillan, who of course was in Doctor Who famously. It reminded me a little bit of This Time with Alan Partridge in some ways. But anyway, the setup is that on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, someone posts that Douglas has been overheard at a wedding making a sexist joke. Okay, so that's the jumping off point. And then his co-presenter sort of responds to this and retweets it, which means it goes quite viral. Now, I had kind of mixed feelings about this, I must be honest. First of all, Hugh Bonneville, he's played this sort of character so many times, it's getting quite boring. It's kind of the patrician, middle-class professional who's slightly kind of confused by the modern world and the younger generation. He's quite befuddled. And this is, yeah, he's doing this quite well-worn territory. I mean, being a Steven Moffat script, there's a lot of funny stuff in it, that's for sure. I particularly enjoyed Simon Russell Beale, the renowned theatre actor. He's very funny as Douglas's agent, who he meets in a restaurant to discuss tactics. But I felt there was quite a lot of sort of punching down in the humour of this series, because it seems to be very much about how snowflakey the younger generation are, and they're just too sensitive all the time, and they're always complaining about microaggressions and, you know, this, that and the other. You're gaslighting me. So it kind of felt very much like someone middle-aged complaining about the younger generation a lot, which I didn't particularly like. But yeah, a lot of it is very funny, and particularly stuff about kind of the media and news coverage and social media. You've got Ben Miles as the TV producer. Alex Kingston plays Douglas's wife, who is a newspaper editor, quite a fearsome character. And then they've got a daughter who is a sort of example of this oversensitive snowflake generation. So yeah, I felt it was a bit of a mixed bag, if I'm honest. And also, I didn't believe that someone posting that someone had made a joke but not saying what the joke was would be like a career-threatening incident. But anyway, perhaps matters will unfold in a different way. I don't know. So there were things I enjoyed in episode 1, particularly Simon Russell Beale. He was hilarious. But I didn't really like this snowflake bashing tone that is quite relentless. What did you think, Hannah?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, although I do think people will quite like it because, as you say, and we laugh about this cancel culture, I think it's a moment in time, isn't it? And sort of you are going to engage a lot of people who feel quite cross about society and shifts in society, perhaps. And perhaps that's their target audience, and that's who they want. So I think it is funny in places, but it's a bit obvious, I think I'd say. And there's a cameo with Kate Garraway. She interviews at one stage. So they've kind of, pulled out all the stops to the big celebrity names here. And I do like Kate, actually. I shouldn't say it like that. It sounded terrible, didn't it? I do like Kate. I like the fact she's got involved, I must admit. So it kind of, it's that idea that somebody in the public eye is then having to be kind of interviewed and it's talked about. And I suppose they've taken bits of reality and run with it, but as you say, not really stuck to, the actual reality of these things. So like you rightly say, the story wasn't leaked out. It was just he was overheard saying something, so therefore his job's in question. I'm not exactly sure that would be the case, but as you say, maybe it goes down a different path. But it's just things like that sort of attention to detail that I think is probably missing. But I do think it will probably appeal to a lot of people who feel like, that there isn't this voice. They're not allowed to say anything anymore. And of course, we see an uprising, a lot of these channels that feel that they can say what they want in freedom of speech. I do think it will appeal.